To make a card that has an open lotus flower, we are going to rotate this card to the side such that it is a horizontally long card and fit it to the center of our screen. Once done, we're going to work on the flower first. So I'm going to add a circle shape for this. As what you saw in the previous tutorial, you can use a knife to slice it in half. Use the pointer to separate out two of the halves and rotate them such that they touch at the tips, but they create an open Pac-Man mouth shape together. Now select both shapes and do a compound shape union. We're going to combine them. Once done, you can choose a color fill that you like. So I'm going to use a red for this. And you can also add a flower tip in the middle that uses a heart flipped vertically upside down. Resize it to fit, and I'm going to just put this heart right behind my flower petal that's open and change the fill color either to match or something slightly different. Once I'm done and happy with my shape, I'm going to group everything together. Ctrl G group, resize it smaller or to a size that I want and put it to the left side, quite high up on the page. Once done, I'm going to create a very long stem for this flower. So I'm going to add a square shape, squish it to form a rectangle, thin one, and just connect it to the flower in the middle and stretch it all the way to the end of the page. If you find that there's a little gap, you can actually move your flower in front of the rectangle and put it just over it such that it closes the gap nicely. Now I'm going to change the color of my rectangular stem using a green that is of a slightly darker shade. Once done, I'm going to add some leaves that comprises of simple oval shapes. So resize to fit. And change to a fill color that you like. To make it interesting, I'm going to change it to a slightly different green than the stem. Now I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, copy the leaf and put it on the opposite side. Now I'm going to select both leaves. So hold shift as you click on them, hold shift, click one leaf, then click the other to select them only, and copy paste to create a few copies of them. You can decide on how far you wish to arrange your leaves. And you can also group them to make it easier for you to rearrange. Once done and you're happy with your flower, you can actually group everything together. Select all and do Ctrl G group. And you can copy and paste this entire flower pattern to create more flower copies of various height. So this is to make your card look extra creative and interesting. It's up to you whether you want to add 4, 5 or more of these flower shapes. And of course you can select all to realign and center. Once done, you can add a line of text. So I'm going to add a line of thank you. So use the text tool, click onto the page, type thank. I'm going to start with thank first. I'm going to change it to a font called Sanchez. Okay, so he has a little bit of like a sans serif look with the extra stroke. Increase the size bigger. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and change the words of the second copy to U. Once done, I'm going to arrange the U text slightly under the thank, such that it creates an interesting pattern like this. And then select both. You can actually group your text if it makes it easier for you to rearrange them. And that is how you create a simple thank you card. You can also change the size and reposition where you wish to have.